a pair of classic rock legends get ready to bring their greatest hits to the Northwest. Plus,
what do memories mean when you forget them yourselves? I think those are difficult questions.
it's a hot summer novel that will make you laugh and cry. Our Refined Reads Book Club breaks down Goodbye Vitamins. Then,
I usually call it modern goth with a twist of everything eco-friendly.
Western Washington's hottest designers charge toward the catwalk, the countdown to a fabulous fashion face-off. Seattle Refined starts now. Hey everybody, welcome to Seattle Refined. I'm Gard Swanson. There is no question we absolutely love our music here in the Northwest. And coming up at the end of the month, our sponsor Live Nation is promoting a group of the coolest bands around. The Eagles and the Doobie Brothers span the decades, and they will rock the night away September 30th at Safeco Field. I remember watching these bands in the Bay Area where I grew up, and I can tell this will be a night to remember. And I was lucky enough to catch up with the Doobie Brothers at their recent concert in Woodinville. For nearly 50 years and counting, the Doobie Brothers keep doing their thing, jamming to the music. Spanning 5 decades, they've sold millions of records, including Best Album of the Year in 1979. You guys played Blackwater. We just heard it in the sound check. It sounds incredible. And is that hard to keep it going like that, where it sounds exactly the same from almost 50 years ago?
I don't know. We play a lot. You know, we kind of continuously.
We're doing like 80 plus, working on 90 shows a year, so it's we get a lot of practice. How's that?
Yeah, but you've also had different band members come in too, and you still got how do you keep that going?
But it's one thing is, we're playing the same songs, but it's never the same. Every night it's different. Every performance is a different feeling from the audience. Our performances are a little different. It keeps it alive.
We have practiced that song a couple of times.
We have worked on it.
On this day, their concert at Chateau Saint Michelle Winery in Woodinville was a sneak peek of what's to come. Welcome to the Hotel California. At the end of the month, the Doobies will share the classic Northwest spotlight with the Eagles at Safeco Field. You guys are up here in a few weeks playing with the Eagles. Right. That's got to be just really a cool thing to do.
They're a really good support act for us. Sorry.
Live Nation is promoting this magical night of music. Between the Eagles and the Doobie Brothers combined, they've been performing for almost 100 years, sold almost 200 million records, and are both Music Hall of Fame members. I mean, you guys are an iconic band. They are. I mean, the fans who watch this, I mean, it's like a 1-2 punch, don't you think?
That's what we're hoping for.
Well, I was a fan. These guys founded the Doobie Brothers, Pat and Tom here. I joined later, so I'm still the new guy. Like, I've only been here almost 40 years. But I was a fan of the Doobie Brothers before I joined the band. And I'm a fan of the Eagles. And so, yeah, to me, it is a great 1-2 punch. So that show, it's a great show.
The Doobie Brothers and the Eagles, 2 must-see classic group that proves rock and roll bands are ageless. The Doobie Brothers. Hey, for the Bay Area, right, baby?
You bet.
All right, man. Have a good show.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you in September.
All right, it's a deal.
All right. Tickets are on sale now for the Classic Northwest featuring the Eagles and the Doobie Brothers. The concert is September 30th at 7 p.m. at Safeco Field. For more info, head to our website, seattlerefined.com. And there are even more rock and pop legends coming to town this month. Classic arena rockers Foreigner and Cheap Trick will play their monster hits at White River Amphitheater in Auburn this Saturday. The show is at 7 p.m. and tickets are still available. And then, you don't have to be nasty to want to see Miss Jackson September 27th at Key Arena. Now, this is a pretty big deal. You remember Janet was supposed to play Seattle last year, but had to postpone her tour after she announced she was pregnant. She gave birth back in January and is finally ready to bring her State of the World tour to the Emerald City. We've been chomping at the bit for a month now to get over to our sponsor, University Bookstore, for our monthly Refined Reads get-together. Our group just finished the novel Goodbye Vitamin by Rachel Kahn. It is a wickedly funny and touching novel about a woman who moves home for a year to help care for her father, who has Alzheimer's disease. Sounds pretty heavy, but believe it or not, this book will make you laugh out loud. And it really hit home for our group of refined readers.
I got to tell you, one of the things that got me right off the bat.
From the very first passage, readers like University Bookstore's Terry Tazioli were intrigued.
Tonight, a man found Dad's pants in a tree lit with Christmas lights. And I thought, oh, this is interesting.
The heroine of Goodbye Vitamin is Ruth, a 30-year-old woman fresh off a devastating breakup, returning home to discover her father's struggle with Alzheimer's becoming increasingly severe. Her mother, Annie, clinging to secrets of a marriage that is less than perfect, and her brother, Linus, harboring resentment for all three.
Ruth goes home with her father being perfect in her mind and having no real understanding of what her mother went through. And so I thought that, and Linus coming home, I couldn't even pick a favorite character because I thought everyone played their role perfectly.
The author uses a disarming combination of sarcasm, humor, and heartbreak to paint a picture of a suburban family shattered by an unpredictable disease and memories they no longer can share.
I loved it. I really loved it. It was so personal and so emotional.
Ruth is snarky, which I loved.
What I really liked about it is that it helped hit the emotional tone and the dynamics of like what is memory and like confronting yourself with that. What do memories mean when you forget yourself?
But for some of our readers, the lighter tone rubbed them the wrong way.
I wasn't thrilled.
Really?
I felt like it was too easy for her to just quit her job for a year and move home. And then I thought, wow, the Alzheimer's that I've dealt with is a little bit more serious than that.
I agree with Pam. I really wanted a little more emotion from the author. I felt like you can't just drop these Alzheimer bombs and then not run off to a closet and cry.
The emotional discussion revealed the massive impact of Alzheimer's, with almost every person in our club being somehow affected by the disease.
It was your mother, right?
Yeah. We didn't move home. We tried to talk my mom into going into inpatient care. She flatly refused with a bunch of very colorful language, and which she had never, growing up, she wouldn't let us say pissed off or stupid. And all of a sudden, she's saying all of these words that I didn't even know she knew.
What is weird, my mom's had the opposite experience than yours, which is interesting. My grandmother, when she got Alzheimer's, actually, she got mellow.
Katja, you work with Alzheimer's patients and the caregivers of those patients too. What was that like to read a book kind of about what you do for your career?
What's interesting about the disease is, you know, you see one case of dementia and you've seen exactly one case of dementia. They're never alike.
Pam, it was one of the reasons you think you didn't like the book is because it was so different than your experience?
Yeah, because it's so close to home, and my mom's been gone for 6 years, but it's still, I could feel myself going, oh, that's uncomfortable, and this isn't going to be fun. But she did touch it. I mean, she made it feel very real.
To watch our raw, unedited interview with Goodbye Vitamin author Rachel Kong, log on to our Facebook page. And if you want to join our next Refined Reads book club, you'll need to pick a copy of our September selection, George and Lizzie, by local author Nancy Pearl. So head down to University Bookstore and grab a copy. Seattle Refined is just getting started.
A younger generation has discovered it. I think people realize it's, still a great beer.
We throw back a cold one with Rainier Beer's biggest superfan. But first, make it work. We go behind the scenes of the Northwest's own version of Project Runway. The struggles behind the style, next. Welcome back to the show. I'm Gard Swanson. Well, time is running out to grab tickets to the biggest fashion competition in the Northwest. In just 2 weeks, 7 up-and-coming designers will finally reveal their collections at our sponsor, Fashion Week at the Bellevue Collection. And today, we're getting to know some of those designers just a little bit better. It's almost showtime for 7 designers competing in this year's Independent Designer Runway Show at Bellevue Fashion Week. Refined has been there every step of the way as top fashion insiders have guided them for 6 months. Our correspondent, former Bachelor contestant turned designer Desiree Hartsock Siegfried, says everyone is bringing their heart and soul to the runway.
And we decided to pair it instead with this one.
Yes.
So my name's Rebecca Adams. I've been designing for a while. So I did IDRS in 2014. I had actually just moved here. My husband was deployed, so why not do Fashion Week? Now coming back now, 3 years later, I have a solid brand. So I started this company, Poppy Seed, when I was 7 months pregnant. Had my baby. I was all excited to go back to work. Basically like a big fog kind of descended on me. I was having a really hard time and not knowing why. Finally, a family member reached out and was like, I think you're dealing with postpartum anxiety and depression. And I was like, no, not me. I have stuff to do. So I saw a counselor, talked to my husband. We started going back to church a little bit more regularly. And through that really hard time kind of coming out of it, realized that the past 6 months I had been, like I said, in a dark cloud. So the collection, that's why it's so dear to me, because it's kind of me breaking out of that cloud, realizing I can be happy, that there are things to me in life to be happy about.
I'm really interested in Poppy Seed. Rebecca, she does Poppy Seed because all the innovative, like, different types of closures, and it works well for pregnancy or postpartum, and I just think it's something I would want to wear.
That's cool.
Hi, my name is Jen Charco. I've been in the industry for the last 18 years, but I've done my own line for the last 7. I usually call it modern goth with a twist of everything eco-friendly. It was my mom. I blame her, really. She had all the fashion magazines around the house. So she had like W when it was like a newspaper, and Vogue. And so she was very fashionable. She is a really fashionable woman. And so for me, it was kind of always around. 5 to 10 years, I would love to have my own line, really be successful in my own sense of success, of meaning that I would do this on a daily basis, have it be a lucrative line, and that is the ultimate goal, and just live this passion of mine as a daily, not as a side thing. It's very intense. I don't know if everybody else is feeling it, but I'm feeling really challenged, which I really like.
Jennifer is very business-minded, and I think she does very well already because of that. Maria is so sweet. I really love Maria. She's taking it really well, and it's her first time doing anything like this, so I'm proud of her.
Hi, my name is Maria Rosana Venturini. The reason why I got into this competition is because I love sewing. 2 years ago, I got divorced. I got separated 2 years ago. So my youngest daughter, Katie, she says, Mom, why don't you go to school? Go back to school. And I says, where? And she goes, why don't you try the Art Institute? So I went to the Art Institute of Seattle, and in a week I was in. I will never be where I am now if I'm still in a marriage. This will be a good start for me. I mean, this is big for me.
There's a lot on the line for the designers. The winner will get $5,000 and will have their looks displayed at Bellevue Square. The show is on September 21st. For ticket information, head to SeattleRefined.com/IDRS. Coming up, Refined touches down at one of the area's hottest new restaurants and throws back a cold one with our favorite new drinking buddy. At Seattle Refined, we never get tired of hearing from you. Like us on Facebook, tweet us your story ideas, or shoot us an email telling us what you want to see on the show. You can find our inbox at hello@SeattleRefined.com. Seattle Refined will be right back. Welcome back to Refined. I'm Gard Swanson. Our Refined team is giving a big thumbs up to a new restaurant taking flight in South Seattle's Boulevard Park neighborhood. It's called Flight Path. Even some of the restaurant tables are made out of restored Boeing shipping crates. But Refined.com contributor Jenny Schultz says she'll vouch for the food, including mouthwatering burgers, nachos, and street tacos. To learn more, check out our website. Cheers, everybody. It is National Beer Lovers Day, and Seattle is the perfect city to celebrate. We are one of the top cities in the nation when it comes to producing craft beer. And every one of those breweries owes a big debt of gratitude to the one Seattle brewski that started the whole thing, the classic Rainier. Rainier started brewing beer in the Emerald City way back in 1878. And though times have changed and the company has changed ownership a few times, as Refined's John Prentice discovered, for one local fan, the classic Red R will never go out of style.
And now, folks, the wonderful Rainier Waltz. Hit it, boys. Ain't a one, ain't a two, ain't.
For Stan Warzeka, Rainier for Life isn't just a slogan, it's a lifestyle.
So why do you love this beer so much?
It's your basic working man beer. And whether it's hot out, rainy out, goes with everything.
Stan says the items in this awesome collection took about 12 years to find. From tap handles to bottle molds, Stan has a little bit of everything.
It's a keg cart.
About 3,500 items in all, including this brew kettle lid, used to make Rainier beer at the original Seattle brewery.
I like old advertising and started collecting Rainier stuff since it was, the homegrown beer. And as I started collecting it, just got more and more into it, more and more into the history of the brew. And it's just kind of a snowball from there. The advertising is pretty iconic.
Well, Audrey, look over there.
Where? Oh, a whole herd of Rainier beers.
Not herds, Audrey. Rainier's come in 6-pack.
People really identify with the Rainier brand. They made 3 Hardhead costumes. 2 got destroyed, and this is the last remaining one of the original costumes. This is a hand-carved wood tour sign that was out in front of the Rainier Brewery. This is a driver delivery jacket from the 1950s.
Rainier posters, Rainier cans, even a Rainier phone. Stan is a genuine Rainier superfan. He's even spotted real wild Rainiers.
Just by chance, saw this big crowd, looked down this one side street, it's like, hey, they're shooting a commercial. We'll check it out. So we stood there and watched them shoot it.
Have you tried on that giant plastic bottle?
I have. It's not real good vision, kind of stuffy.
What do you think of Rainier being cool again?
I love it. It's the way it used to be. Rainier was a leader way back in its day, and a younger generation has discovered it. I think people realize it's, still a great beer.
John Prentice, Seattle Refined.
And Rainier fans, mark your calendar. Our day is coming up October 21st at the old Rainier Brewery. It's a celebration of Rainier beer with live music and a lot more. We'll be right back, but first, this refined, shareable moment.
It's very popular dish in Hong Kong, and if you go to any Chinese cuisine, they pretty much they are available in every place. So this is like a lemongrass style. We drain, we dry it, and then we just cook it in the real hot water for 15 seconds. And then you really have to shock with the ice cold water again to make the consistency more crispy. The jellyfish, the best part that we use is the body, because of the texture, and that is the key. You didn't know this is jellyfish. I didn't tell you, because texture more like a noodle.
Welcome back to the show. Well, the Seahawks' first regular season game kicks off Sunday on the road against the Packers, but the party already got started at the Clink. Dozens of lucky fans attended Dinner on the 50 hosted by American Express. Fans were treated to a 4-course meal on the 50-yard line and got to visit with Bobby Wagner and Cliff Averill of the Hawks, including our own Britt Thorson. The Lombardi Trophy was also there. That's cool stuff. To check out the photos, head to SeattleRefined.com. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. I'm Garth Swanson. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you next time right here on Seattle Refined.